Welcome, everyone. Today, you'll learn how important it is to have good quality ingredients in your dog treats. You might be wondering why my furry dog here is here with me. We're going to be talking about choose happiness today. And as a dog parent myself, I recognize there's so many choices out there, and it's really hard to make a decision on what's best for your dog. So comment to let us know you're here. And if you have a dog, we definitely want to see you post pictures in the comments. So before we get started, let me just introduce myself. My name is Chrissy. I have here Cora, and I also have with me Tavor White and Meeta Gawandi, as well as Bouncer. And Tavor and Meeta are with us from Choose Happiness. And so before we get into the questions that we have for them today, let me just tell you a little bit about Mom's Meet. So Mom's Meet is an online community made up of parents, grandparents, caregivers, even pet parents that are interested in giving their family better for you brands. So you can become a mom ambassador just by joining at momsmeet.com. It's totally free. So if you'd like to sample and try free products, definitely sign up. And we always love our winners for our Facebook Live. So today, 5 winners will receive the Barkaron, and Tavor's going to hold that. That's what the gift, the well-being gift box.
Gift box. Yeah.
It includes an assortment of the 3 Barkaron varieties. They're very fancy. Superfood blend with camel cheese. It includes the Himalayan river trout recipe and the chicken recipe as well. So if your dog is the winner, they probably will be eating better than I would any other night. So make sure you comment on, like, and share this video for your chance to win. And as always, we'll announce the winner on Monday. So as I mentioned, we have Meeta and Tavor with us from Choose Happiness, and this event is brought to you by them. They are the makers of the Barkaron, as Tavor just showed, and it's a doggy dessert that's healthy for your dog and also the planet. So we're going to get into how that works in a minute. But first, let me introduce Tavor and Meeta to you. So Tavor, he has spent over 2 decades helping companies enhance their product safety and quality. And after becoming what he refers to as a corporate refugee, he spent a few years, he studied how to apply his obsession with health and wellness to pet nutrition, which was really important to him. And so he founded Choose Happiness. And Choose Happiness is a social enterprise and business, which is dedicated to helping people develop closer bonds with their pets, which is always important, I know, to pet families, and also the planet. So that's a very unique connection, and it offers the highest quality, finest, and socially and environmentally friendly creations. And Meeta is after she spent years as a corporate attorney, she decided she wanted to spend more of her time making the world a better place, which is amazing. When I read about both of you, I was like, oh my gosh, you're so inspiring. She now spends her time divided among Choose Happiness. And she also helps run a non-for-profit that supports a college in rural India. And they provide education for the youth there. And in her spare time, also helps small companies and entrepreneurs as an attorney. So you guys both have very impressive profiles. You're very well accomplished. And last but not least, I want to introduce Bouncer. So Bouncer, he's hiding right now. But when I heard about his breed, I was like, I need to meet Bouncer.
Bouncer.
Hi, Bouncer. He's actually a 50-50 cross between a Doberman and a standard poodle, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and he's
working dogs with a very strong mind.
Yes. And he loves hiking and retrieving balls in the dog park and playing with toys. We were just talking about his hike yesterday. He chased a fox, right? So he's a little sleepy today, so recovering from that.
Yeah, he's very tired from the fox.
Yeah. So during this event, Choose Happiness will be responding to your comments. So definitely feel free to post questions for them. They'll also respond after the event as well. So we're just going to jump right in. We have a lot of great questions for you both. Your company is very interesting. It's different. We love the connection between the planet and offering sustainable ingredients. So what inspired you to create the Barkarons?
Well, Bouncer is definitely the cause of all of this. As you can see, Bouncer is very strong-willed. He has a mind of his own, and he also has a very sensitive stomach.
Okay.
He's a picky eater, and so it was hard to find things, especially when we were, just from the time he was a puppy and training him, and even now, like it's hard to find things that he likes and that didn't make him sick. And so we wanted to create something that would be really genuinely healthy. And if it could meet our dog standards, then we wanted to share that with others. And we're both also really healthy eaters, so we wanted something that was really high quality.
And I'm a super health freak, so I wanted to give him the same type of healthy, decadent experiences that I have. I also have a chemical engineering background, so I tinker a little bit with recipes. I'm a science geek, and putting it all together, I wanted to create something that was really special for dogs. Dogs understand when you give them something really special, like a box of chocolates for people, and that's what we created for dogs.
Oh, that's so cool. That's a great story. And so how are they different from other dog treats?
So the ingredients is really the big thing. It was really important to us to have good quality ingredients. First of all, that are organic, or what we call beyond organic. So basically grown without pesticides and chemicals and non-GMO, and that it would come from really quality places, the pristine places on our planet. Ingredients that would have health benefits, just from natural, real food, health benefits. And that it would be yummy, that our dog would love them, and that dogs would find them delicious to their taste buds.
Yeah, also we wanted to build in the sort of just dropped it, handcrafted detail. It's hard to see here, but you can see it behind us. We just lost them. Because all of our pieces are handcrafted. So this is actually a filling. This yellow here is a filling where a lot of good stuff is. And then we have 2 wafers. Right, there you go. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, thank you. So there's the filling that sort of sticks out, sort of oozes out and then dries. And then the 2 wafers. So each one of these is put together by hand. We don't have a big machine where you throw it in one end and it comes out the other. And we felt that was going to really enhance the quality of what we're providing as well. Finally, we don't use any plastic in our packaging. This is all made from recycled paper, also recycled cotton. And we wanted to be a positive contributor to the environment, not a negative contributor.
Yeah, that's a great addition. And we'll get into in a moment more about the offsetting your carbon footprint. But you guys have obviously done a lot of research. You put a lot of time and effort into something that's important to you. So what's some advice that you can give to pet parents when they're buying dog food, dog treats? A lot of times the marketing makes it look like it's good for them, but it might not be. So what would your advice be?
So I would say, 4 things. Read, research, ask, and watch. So a lot of it is focused on the ingredients. So read the ingredients on the packages. Research the ingredients to see, are the ingredients, what is the ingredients impact on dogs? Is it good for them, bad for them, neutral? Ask questions like that and observe your dog. How does your dog react to it? How does it affect your dog's digestive system? And other questions you can ask are, does the company test for things like pesticides, pathogens, and toxins? What's the quality? Where did it come from? Was it made ethically? How were people paid? Were the animals, how were they treated? What was the impact on the environment from growing it? So those are the questions that we ask when we buy for our dog.
Many treats in the market are really junk food. And even the better ones tend to limit the really good stuff because it's very expensive. And so most companies do their best to whitewash inferior or cheap ingredients. For instance, in fillers, let's talk about glycerin just for 1 second. So the vast majority of treats in the market have glycerin in them as the top 2nd or 3rd ingredient. And glycerin, as you probably know, is used for people and for dogs to alleviate constipation as a laxative. It's also, by the way, used as an antifreeze, but that's a separate issue. And so it's no wonder that a lot of people actually have come to me and said, my dog can't eat treats because it gives them constipation. It gives them diarrhea. Well, it's no wonder because you're giving them glycerin. So we don't use any glycerin. And that's just, for example, an ingredient you want to look out for. And to the point that you really want to have a treat that enhances the dog's experience and well-being and health, not degrades it. And so we actually earned the 2020 pick for Animal Wellness Magazine because we don't use any of those bad ingredients, and it's only healthy ingredients.
Yeah, well, congratulations. That's a great award to receive. And it just shows that you guys have taken the time and care to really think through the ingredients. And one of the things that I also wanted to talk to you about was the functional foods aspect. So for those of us who don't know, and by those of us, I mean me, can you tell our moms a little more about what functional foods mean?
Sure. So functional food is a food that provides health benefits beyond its nutritional value. So take, for example, our Barkaron here. This is our superfood blend with camel cheese. And this, as you see, contributes to support skin and coat and immune and joint and mobility health. It also actually supports immune health as well. And then
this is our Barkaron with chicken, and it promotes digestive health and well-being. And then this is our Himalayan river trout, which promotes healthy skin, a shiny coat, and joint mobility. Lots of
omega-3s.
Yeah. So can you tell us a little bit more about the ingredients that are in those products that help, provide those great additions?
Sure. So these health benefits are not coming from pharmaceuticals or chemical additives. It's all coming from real natural food. So for example, we have organic berries and pomegranates or turmeric. Organic berries and pomegranates have high antioxidants and fiber, healthy fiber. Turmeric is a powerful anti-inflammatory. A lot of studies have been done showing the anti-cancer effect of turmeric. And other great ingredients like free-range beef gelatin,
which has lots of collagen amino acids, which are really great for your dog's skin and coat, and also for their joints. And she did mention camel cheese, by the way, and this is our superfood blend with camel cheese. Camel cheese is to dogs as chocolate is to people.
Oh.
It's an amazing ingredient. Meeta and I actually camped out with the camel herders in the Gobi Desert to source this amazing ingredient. And that was a whole separate, we could have a whole separate conference on that. But anyway, and there were amazing people, and we're supporting their traditional lifestyle, so they were really psyched. But it's a Central Asian delicacy. Doesn't appeal to the Western palate, at least not mine, but as soon as I tasted it, I knew dogs would love it. And it's loaded, packed with vitamins and minerals, vitamin C, B1, potassium, iron, and it also has immune supporting immunoglobulins. So it's really a superfood. Now, something to note about treats is that we believe dogs are people too, but they're not biologically human. So not every food item that's good for a human will be good for a dog. For example, leafy greens are great for people. Eat as much as you can, not so much for dogs.
Interesting. That's really interesting. Well, speaking of, dogs and how they react to different foods. So I read a really interesting article on your website about dogs can dogs savor foods? You guys have, again, you've put in so much time and effort into making this decadent dessert for them. So the question is, can they actually savor them? And I loved what I read. If you guys can share a little bit.
So I wrote that for Animal Wellness Magazine. A lot of people come to me and ask, could their dogs really enjoy such a premium dessert and healthy food? Because as far as they're concerned, their dog scarfs food down practically at light speed.
Right.
So how can they really enjoy anything? Well, it turns out that a large part of what we experience as taste comes not from our taste buds, but from the olfactory system, so our sense of smell. And not to get too technical, but the reason for that is that when you eat a food, the volatile organics, like in the chocolate, for example, they waft up they volatilize. They basically boil. They volatilize at our body temperature when it hits your tongue, and it goes all up your sinuses, and your brain experiences that as taste and flavor, the experience of taste. So the taste buds are able to differentiate between broad categories. Is it sweet? So your brain says, I want more. Is it bitter? Maybe it's toxic. I should keep away from it. But in terms of that real taste experience that you get when you have a really great cup of coffee, a really amazing chocolate, that's the whole entire olfactory system. Well, dogs actually have 400 million sensory olfactory receptors. Humans have 5 million.
Wow.
They are the part of their brain that's associated with processing smells and odors is 40 times as large as ours. So you put it all together, their ability to sense smell and odor is probably over 1 million times what we're able to sense. So they are experiencing and savoring that snack before it even comes out of the bag, or in our case, out of the box.
Uh-huh.
I'm sure you've seen it with your dog. Like before you've even opened it, the dog is like, zoom.
Yeah. Well, it's so funny because after I read that article, I will like take my dog for a walk and she'll stop and smell something and I'm like, okay, I get it. You have more sensories than I do. Like, take your time. And so I think people also want to know, are these treats good for dogs of all ages? Or are they only good for certain ages?
Yeah, so they're good for all age dogs. We've given them to puppies a month or two old to all the way to elderly dogs. Many smaller dogs will enjoy them more if you cut them in half. If you have a 5-pound dog or a 2-pound dog, they're crunchy. Dogs love the crunch, and because we don't add glycerin, they're crunchy. But for smaller dogs, better to cut in half. For really elderly dogs or other dogs who don't have good teeth or have dental health issues, probably not the best treat because they are crunchy, actually.
Okay, that's definitely helpful to know for sure. Yeah, I feel like a lot of treats are soft, but you're saying that the soft treats tend to have the glycerin in them? Is that what makes them soft?
Glycerin is what makes them soft.
Interesting. I had no idea. There's so many things. Most of my dog treats right now are soft, so I'm probably not going to give them to her anymore. And so can you tell, so one of the things that we love is the connection between not just giving, making something healthy for our pets, but also for the planet. So can you, where did you see the need for dog treats to also be eco-friendly, not just healthy?
Sure. So with regard to the ingredients, it's really important to us that it's grown without pesticides. And we care a lot about the impact on the environment. Like when we eat food, was it grown in a way that depleted the soil, or was it grown in a way that nourished the soil? Mm-hmm. And so we source from a lot of just small farms and farmers who are not using pesticides, and the way that they farm is integrated with the ecosystem and the environment. And then the packaging, we see how much plastic, we've seen the images of the whales washed up and straws in sea animals and just tons of waste in our ocean. Yeah. And we didn't want to contribute. We didn't want to use any plastic that was going to then contribute to harming our planet. And so we searched far and wide to figure out a way to create beautiful packaging that would not have any plastic at all, and still be completely safe and food grade quality. And so we actually use recycled paper and recycled cotton to make our packaging.
Yeah.
And the packaging is so beautiful. You would never think that it came from that. It's awesome.
Yeah, and it's actually really cool when you get it in person. You can feel the texture, and there are little grass fibers in it as well, just kind of like natural materials in it. So it's a cool material.
Yeah. So one of the things that I love about your story is and about your company too. So the first time I talked to Tavor, I was setting up a phone call. And my colleague was like, oh, he's in the Himalayan mountains right now. And I was like, what? Where is he? But then I connected the dots that, you guys have a Himalayan river trout flavor. And that was just so cool to me that you're actually on site. You just mentioned, sleeping in the desert with for the camel cheese. And again, I mentioned before, as a consumer, it's so hard to trust companies about where they're sourcing their ingredients from. And as you guys have mentioned, it's super important for you to make sure that they're sourced, eco-friendly. So can you tell us a little bit more about what that looks like for your company? Do you go to the Himalayan mountains often? Like, how does that work?
Thanks for asking that, Chris. Yeah, I go, our Happiness Kitchen is in Bhutan, which is a tiny place all the way up in the Himalayas, and as Meeta mentioned, the only carbon negative country in the planet. It's an amazing place. And so when we had that chat, I was actually working with our artisans up in Bhutan. And we also meet with many of the farmers and herders who supply our amazing ingredients. We talked about the camel cheese. We have yak cheese in there too. Meeta and I have gone up hiking in the Himalayas to meet with the yak herders as well. So it's very important to understand not just what country your products come from, but where they actually come from. So for example, a lot of people are concerned about purchasing treats that are not made in the USA. If you look at the major causes of recalls, it's mainly due to listeria, salmonella pathogens, basically. And also, believe it or not, chemicals that aren't supposed to be in a food item. For instance, pentobarbital, which is actually a very powerful euthanasia drug. Now, how that got into a pet treat is basically a big question, but basically it means you potentially have roadkill or you otherwise euthanized animals in your pet treats.
Oh my
God. And that's horrible. So basically, and those are all US made treats, sourced in the USA. So basically you have to be careful, and as Meeta, I won't review it again, but as Meeta indicated, really look at the ingredients. Are they healthful? Are they wholesome? Do they have fillers? And in our case, we only use ingredients, each ingredient has a health and wellness value to it. And so putting it all together, it took a long time. It took us probably 2 years to develop these because we didn't want to just slap together a recipe. We want to make sure each and every item that goes in there is adding health and wellness to the dog. And then to overlay on top of that, in addition to meeting with the farmers and herders and making sure we have high quality ingredients, we test for PCBs, pesticides, pathogens, and heavy metals to make sure that we have a really safe product. And that's what you should expect from companies that provide treat and food for your animals, for your furry family members.
That is amazing. It's so important, and I know to our moms too. That was like the main question that question and my next question were the two questions I definitely wanted to ask, because I think it's so important to our moms. Really just knowing where those ingredients come from. Those of us with pet children, as I say, they really are like family, and they are our children. So we want to make sure that we're giving them the best ingredients. And so my next question that I really wanted to ask was, I wanted to ask you guys more about your mission and how you support the indigenous farmers, and then also offset your carbon footprint at the same time.
So our motto is for you, your pet, and the planet. And in the whole cycle of this, Tavor will share our happiness cycle. Our goal is that from the very beginning to your dog experiencing the treat, everybody and everything should be benefited and should be happy in this process.
Mm-hmm.
So I was actually in Bhutan, one of my trips to Bhutan, and we met with a senior lama, which is basically a Buddhist monk, because they're Tibetan Buddhists there, that's their religion. And we were just talking with him about the project, okay? And he said basically that the dog was saving the yak. And let me explain this, okay? So it's very hard to see, but you go to our website, and you go to our website for a lot of this information, even the information with regards to the nutrition. But basically, it all starts with the dog in the middle, the happiness dog. This is our meditating happiness dog. And if you have a happy dog or happy pets, you have happy pet parents, because everyone likes to see their dogs happy. You also feel good that you're buying something that's good for them and for the planet. And then we have happy herders and artisans, because again, we talked about the Gobi Desert camel herders, whom, by the way, are losing their livelihoods because of droughts in the Gobi Desert, and basically they are very happy to have a new source of income to be purchasing their camel cheese. They have so the animals are happy. These camels are not kept in cages. These camels are semi-wild, And then when they want to milk them, they call them over, and they milk them. They are very particular. If they do not know you, they will not let you touch them. So which we tried to do. So don't try that at all. And then finally, you have a happy planet, because we're trying to do everything we can. Now, in terms of carbon footprint, despite the fact that we're working with Bhutan, we do have a carbon. We do generate carbon in our business, primarily due to a little travel, and also shipping product around, which we feel we're still contributing to a better planet that way. So for that little carbon we do generate, we find an amazing organization that supports actually indigenous farmers in South and Central America. So rather than cutting down forests to grow cacao and coffee and other products, they actually grow them sustainably, and they contribute to the local ecosystem. So it's an amazing organization, and we could contribute to that. And they have a way to calculate based on how many pounds of carbon you generate, or tons, that they then offset that with planting trees, with supporting this ecosystem in South and Central America.
Well, that's so great. It's so impressive. And I just think what you guys are doing is awesome, focusing not just on the ingredients, but also giving back to the planet too. And you guys, do you also support any dog or pet charities?
Sure. So we have an amazing charity organization called the Maya Foundation. They're in Bhutan. It's run by actually a woman from Colorado. She has hundreds of dogs, a few hundred cats, or 100 cats, donkeys, mules, chickens, pigs. And she also, when I was there a few months ago, she had a vulture she had saved from the side of the road. And basically, yeah, she does an amazing work, and so a portion of our revenue does go to contribute to her organization.
She has hundreds of dogs and donkeys, and just cows, all living together. We also donate to a lot of animal rescue organizations in the U.S. We're based here in Colorado, and so we've done a lot of charities here in Colorado as well. And in fact, since we're a startup, we've actually donated more to rescue organizations than we've made profits yet.
Well, that just speaks to how important it is to you as a company, personally, business-wise, just to give back and leave the planet better than when you came into it. So, and I know, obviously, we know you guys have the Decadent Doggie Dessert. Is there anything else that you guys offer for purpose on your website?
Yes. So as part of our so we started with the little dog. We have these handmade sweaters. I worked with women in Bhutan, and we were really inspired by the traditional designs they have in Bhutan. So for example, this design right here symbolizes the interconnectedness of all beings and all things on the planet. And this symbol right here is karma. Some people know about karma and the concept of karma, and that symbolizes that. And so we worked with them to really work in their incredible weaving traditions into dog sweaters and
matching leashes and collars.
Matching leashes and collars. They hand weave these.
Oh, wow.
And it's made from yak down, which the animal naturally sheds every year. So there's a lot coming out about how a lot of clothes are really taking from the environment. But what's really amazing is that this does not damage the environment. The animals graze naturally, shed their fur naturally, and it's an incredibly soft
one of the warmest,
material.
Softest natural fibers.
Yeah, but yet it doesn't overheat you. I actually should have worn a sweater, but we make some clothes for people, some scarves, and they're really luxurious. So
that's awesome. I love that you connect it back into, supporting the locals, where you're sourcing your ingredients from to help them, create some products too for your company. That's great.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Well, so Cora here, she seems like she's asleep, but she probably is. She's been anxiously awaiting the taste test. So she's going to taste test each flavor. So while I'm giving her each flavor, I'm just going to ask one of you to just look, she's already so excited. There she's awake now.
Oh, now she's awake.
So the first one I'm going to give her is the superfood blend with camel cheese. So if you can go into a little bit more about the ingredients on that one.
Okay, so this is an amazing product that we have. The red. The red is actually all organic berries, organic pomegranates, Camel cheese we talked a lot about. It's like chocolate for dogs, and it has that collagen amino acid in it as well. So loaded with antioxidants. We put just about every berry, all organic, every berry that a dog can eat in a healthy way, we've stuffed in there. So blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, purple carrot is in there as well, which is an amazing ingredient. Lots of beta carotene.
All right, so the next flavor she's going to try here is she really liked that first one. She's like, give it to me. Is the Himalayan snow trout. Oh, she just took it from me without even asking.
So the Himalayan river trout we get from a sustainable farm, the aquaculture farm, all the way up in the Himalayas. I mean, this is coming from pristine glacial rivers, okay? And I actually, one of the people I met with when I was there this past trip a few months ago was I met with the guy who runs this. And our dog.
Hi, bouncer.
So basically, usually they reserve their production for 5-star hotels, okay, for people. And I told them the whole story about how we sleep with Bouncer, and our queen size bed wasn't big enough when he became 90 pounds. So Meeta and I bought a king size bed, and now that's not even big enough. And so when I told him that story, he was convinced that people in America want the American dogs are worthy of his Himalayan river trout. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, she ate that right up. So the last flavor I'm going to give her is the chicken flavor too. So if you can talk a little bit about that flavor.
Sure. This is organic, free-range chicken, and on the inside, and again, lots of collagen amino acids. And the outside, the wafer there it has purple carrot in it, and that again is, besides looking really pretty, is actually has very powerful antioxidants, and the purple carrot, polyphenols in the purple carrot.
Okay.
So we don't use any food coloring that's chemical food coloring, right? So the yellow is turmeric, the purple is purple carrot, and the other one, the berries are the red. So that's how we get our colors. It's actually through these amazing functional food ingredients.
Interesting. Well, they're definitely core approved for sure. And I remember when we first spoke, you had talked about how Bouncer always prefers your treats over other brands, right?
Yeah, he is, that chase with the fox yesterday, which was not on purpose, obviously. He actually broke the leash trying to get away from me. But he is exhausted from it. So if we could get him over here, just 1 second. Bouncer, you want to come here? Come, let's come.
Right. As you can see, you know who's the boss here. Okay.
Yeah, so anyway, I'm not going to waste everyone's time, but he does love our Barkarons.
Yeah. Well, you guys were so gracious to also send some of your treats to the dogs of Mom's Meat before today's Facebook Live. So they've already taste tested these, and we just wanted to share with you what they had to say. So our first dog, Sandy, she is age 3, and her hobby includes people watching. She watches by the window all day, making sure they're practicing their social distancing. And she loves that they are all natural and organic. And our next dog is Shelby. She's age 9. Her hobby is finding any body of water to practice her doggy paddle. And she said that she loves Choose Happiness social initiatives and that they offset the carbon footprint. And last but not least is Snowball, who's actually the director of cuteness for Mom's Meat. She's 13 years young, and her hobby is sunbathing, and she sits at the front door talking to dogs all day. And she loves that she only eats the highest quality and decadent treats. So Choose Happiness is perfect for her. So all 3 gobbled the treats right up. I think one of them has, it doesn't really like the hard treats that much, and she went right for it. So it was great.
That's awesome.
So we want to know, to those of you who are tuned in, tell us which dogs review your dog most identifies with. And so just to recap today, we learned more about Choose Happiness and their Barkarons that provide the super healthy, all natural organic ingredients, which is so important to us as pet parents. And it's such a special treat for our furry friends. that's also eco-friendly, and we love that there's no plastic packaging. So let us know. We want to hear from you. What did you find most helpful from our discussion today? Make sure that you keep sharing your thoughts and questions in the comment section. Choose Happiness, as I mentioned, will be responding to your comments. And they are available for purchase at choosehappiness.com. And right now, you'll see a little code that just popped up for 20% off. You can use the code ChooseHappiness just by going to choosehappiness.com. So, Tavor and Meeta, it was such a pleasure talking with you. You guys are inspiring with such a great backstory, and we love the company. So we're really grateful we had a chance to talk with you both. And Bouncer, thank you for joining us.
He's asleep.
He's out again.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, thank you. And remember to keep sharing and liking and commenting for your chance to win. And as I mentioned, we'll select the winners on Monday, and we'll announce it on the Facebook page. So thank you again. It was great to meet you both.
Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Thank you all.